I want to welcome a couple of our two presenters of the day. Maria Reyna, who's on on the screen as well. She has been with Eastern for 20 plus years. So if I had a question about Eastern, she'd be my go-to. So I hope that you're able to build that connection with her and pick her brain about all the great things that EWU has to offer and why Eagles fly so high. And our other presenter will be Victor Rodriguez, who has been with Eastern for about 17 years. Second expert, so definitely ask him. Or they're both got great information, folks, and they're going to be giving you a great time today. With that being said, I'm going to hand it over to Maria for an introduction and welcome.
Perfect. Thank you, Harley, and welcome everyone. I'm excited to be with you this afternoon. And like Harley said, it's the times right now, we're doing everything through webinars, through Zoom. So I really appreciate you taking your time to be with us to learn more about the new Student Orientations and Transition Program. So with that, my name is Maria Reyna, and I am a proud Eagle. I graduated from Eastern Washington University. I graduated with my degrees in social work, and my master is also in social work. So I've been able to really learn as a student, as an Eastern student, learn a lot with my colleagues here at Eastern. I used to be in the advising center, so I'm able to answer a few questions in regards to advising. But I definitely started working with the new Student Transition and Family Programming about 2 months ago. And so I'm fairly new to this role as the director, but I'm really grateful that I'm a part of this program to welcome you, to congratulate you on becoming an Eagle. I know we have students who have confirmed your admittance, so congratulations. And I know we have students that are admitted and you're still looking and researching and looking at what are best options for you. So I'm hoping to also see your confirmations come in for Eastern in the fall. With that being said, like Harley said, we like to welcome you, but I also like to throw a shout out to the staff and admissions for putting this webinar together and for inviting us as a program to talk with you this afternoon about the steps for new student orientation. So with that being said, I'd like to introduce, I think Victor is on his way now, so.
Oh my goodness. Hello, everybody. Hello. Things are a little crazy down in Earth, so I'm up here trying to chill out in space. How's everybody doing? My name is Victor Rodriguez. Anyway, I'm just trying to have a little fun right here with Zoom. Welcome everybody to the webinar on orientation and family programming. My name is Victor Rodriguez. Like Harley and Maria said, I've been here at the university for about 17 years or so. I'm also a proud Eagle. I graduated here at Eastern as well. My E hat, this is a limited hat if you're cool. One of the rec guys can probably give you this. So anyway, we're here to talk about orientation. And so welcome everybody. My name is Victor and Maria will tell you a little bit about our program.
Thank you, Victor. So as part of the new student office and the transition for our students, we definitely wanted to be able to talk to you about the steps that you're going to go through in preparing for you to be here in the fall. So I'm going to explain a little bit about step 1 in regards to the survey that you all were sent. So as a new student, because I was part of the advising office, I know that the advisors there are working on your survey that you submitted. So the surveys that were submitted, the advisors are now looking at those and they're deciding on what does your schedule look like for fall. And so it's really important that you continue to either finish that survey and send it in, or if you've already sent it in, that the students that have already confirmed and sent that in, your advisors are working on that. And so that is part of your step 1, is definitely filling that survey out. Once the advisors have that and they're ready to contact you, they're going to do that through your Eagles email and invite you to set up a Zoom appointment with them. And so again, it's important that you be checking your Eagles email, that you have that survey turned in, and then they're going to be contacting you to set that up. And so that's all a part of the step one in terms of the advising. We also talked about, I want to talk a little bit about the Running Start students. So our continuing Eastern Running Start students, you will be contacted by our advising office, and they're going to be setting up a Zoom appointment with you as well. And so the Zoom appointment will happen for our continuing Running Start students, as well as new Eastern Running Start students that are not part of Eastern. They will also be contacting you. And so again, depending on if you're an Eastern Running Start student, you will be contacted by the advising office. Our new students that are coming in the fall that are not part of Running Start, you'll be contacted by the advising office as well. And then our Running Start students that were not attending Eastern, you'll be completing also that survey and you'll be contacted by the advising center. So if you didn't hear me, you'll be contacted by the advising office, and that you'll be setting up your Zoom appointments. And so that's really important for that first step that you're doing now. And Victor.
Absolutely. So remember, that's step number one. And we just want to make sure that you are set up to understand that the advisors will be contacting you once you do your, either whether you're doing the questionnaire or if you're a transfer student, if we have some transfer students here in the house, you know, just hang on. Advisors will definitely be contacting you through your student Eagles email. If there are some students here that have not confirmed, okay, to the university, make sure that you confirm, okay? We hope that you choose Eastern because you're already here. So I think you're pretty close to that. So you confirm to the university because that activates all these communications, okay? We talked about, you know, advisors contacting you or us sending you information about orientation. Some of you probably already got that information about orientation, but confirming to the university is what will activate all that, okay? So with that, you know, so again, we have step number one, then we have step number two in the orientation process or steps that we have. And for those of you that want to follow us, we are, the page that we're talking about is ewu.edu/orientation. Just put that on your web browser, and I'm actually going to put that on right now. So you can follow us. So once you get, you type that in, ewu.edu/orientation, you are going to come to this page right here, okay? So these are the three steps that we're talking about. And Maria just talked about step number one, okay? And these are the two options that we have. We have option number one, which is essentially for all students who are coming directly from high school. It says right here, students who do not attend college after graduating. So if you did not attend college and you have not graduated from high school, this is your option in here, okay? And also notice, students, we may have some Running Start students here. So Running Start students from other colleges, okay? This is your option right here, okay? Just understand that we have Running Start students from other colleges and EW Running Start students, those who attended Eastern through Running Start. And that would be, your option would be here. And it'll say right here, EW Running Start students, this is your option right here. Okay, just know that there's a difference. You will also see on my, I think down here, it'll say my name, Victor or Vic, orientation@ewu.edu. We have, if you have any questions outside of this, you can email that if we don't answer it here, okay? Because this can be a little confusing, but just remember, for first year students, this one's it. For Running Start students and transfer students, this is it, okay? So we go to step number two, okay? And step number two is about saving your seat for fall orientation. Again, it says, choose your option that best matches you, okay? So again, this is important for you to read what option is yours, because this is where it changes a little bit. Running Start students, just how you had to apply to the university as a first year student or as a freshman, right? you will have to attend orientation as a freshman. We realize and we congratulate you with all that you have done as a Running Start student, but we do need to have you attend orientation as a first-year student. So that way you get all that information, okay, that you may have not been available for or have missed during your Running Start time at Eastern or anywhere else, okay? So all Running Start students, this is your first option right here, and this is where you save your seat right here. So you click on there, and I'm going to show you just real quick what the form looks like. The form is really short. It has probably no more than 8 questions. You fill out the information, press submit at the bottom, submit and continue, and you're good to go, okay? And this will save your seat at the fall orientation, okay? So just remember that to choose your option and go with the form right here. So what is fall going to look like? I'm going to let Maria talk to you about that.
Yeah, so thank you, Vic. So fall, as we all are learning through these times and all the uncertainty, and I want to, couple things. First is congratulate all our seniors. I know that this is not how you wanted to end your senior year, but I definitely know through family and friends that have seniors that you guys are just pushing through. And I am excited that you guys are on here because you're looking forward. And what you're looking forward to is this opportunity to be an Eagle in the fall. And with that being said, we are working on a program that's going to best fit our students in the fall. And so right now, Victor and I are working on events that we will have for you. We will have events for our families as well. And what exactly that's going to look like as far as it is in person, is it not in person, those are things that we're looking at and creating options for you and creating options based on where we're at come September. And so from today, and actually a few weeks ago, we already started this, but we've been discussing and looking at is what is fall going to look like and how do we have a really great new student orientation for all of you new students to come and to welcome you to our community as an Eagle. And so we encourage you, like Victor said, to sign up for the new student orientation. Make sure we have your registration. So that way, as we continue to build our orientation for fall and we work on that schedule, you will get the latest information as we are working on it. And that is the best way to communicate with you all so we know who we need to send that information to. So definitely sign up for that, and that we will continue to work on a program that is going to be an exciting one and one that, we're all, as a proud Eagle, we know that we want that experience for you to be one that's engaging, and we're going to be working on that and best fit our needs as an institution and for our students.
Very cool. Thank you, Maria. And I do want to point out that, hey, let's say everything goes well. Let's say everything's perfect. We are planning, like Maria said, in different options, right? Depending on what we're looking at. But let's say everything happens, we have set the dates for this. So if everything goes well, the September 17th through the 22nd, that's what we're looking at for orientation. So kind of pencil that in your calendar, because again, hopefully everything goes well. We are in person. Here are the dates, okay? If you're a transfer student, you're more than welcome to attend everything and anything we have available, but we also understand as a transfer student, you want, what's just for you, and you want to get it over with because you all have families, have jobs and things like that. We are planning for September 21st for you all. So just, again, pencil those dates in just in case everything is good to go. Remember, all Running Start students these are your dates here, okay? So again, I understand that you may have an AA degree or 90 credits or even more, but being that you have not graduated from high school, you are attending the first year orientation with us, okay? So that's step number 1. And we've talked about step number 2, which is saving your seat for fall orientation. Okay, now let's talk about step number 3, okay? Step number 3 is about completing the EW New Student Online Orientation, okay? I had a question, let me see, I think it was late last week, a student asked me, well, isn't the online orientation and what you are planning, the virtual orientation or a hybrid of an online and virtual orientation in the fall, the same thing? It's like, no, because this is kind of a static online orientation, this one right here that we're looking at. on your screen. And essentially there's 7 modules. You're going to go through them at your own pace. You're going to read the information, click next, read the information, click next. And it's very important information that we want you to start thinking about, right? So that's step number 3 that we want you to go through. And again, you have the 2 options right here. The first option is for all Running Start students and first-year students. So this is kind of what it looks like. I won't necessarily go into it, but let me see if it'll let me go in. Oh, it did let me go in. Okay. So before this step here, you're going to have to use your net ID and password. It'll ask you for that. Okay. And then once you log in with your net ID and password, then it'll go straight to this right here. Okay. So as you can see, there's different modules. There's actually 7 of them. And one of the things that you'll see is that you can't click on the second one or third one unless you finish the first one. And again, you all, let's look at this one here. Some of them are going to be pretty dynamic videos, and no more than probably 2-3 minutes, and just a little bit of information. There's a few pages that have a lot of information because I don't want to read all that, so I don't want you to read all that. So it's very important information. Now, let's say there is something that you really like, right? There will be some things that, for example, let me look at one here. Roommate relationships, okay? So if you look on here, if you want more information, usually towards the end of the page that you're looking at, you will see links to send you to get more information. So that way you don't have to read everything right here, okay? So just know that about the online orientation. So that's step number 3 right there, making sure that you connect with, let me go back to our orientation page. You connect and you complete the online orientation. And again, if you have any questions, you can call us or email us. We'll definitely be able to help you connect. If you can't access it for some reason or another, we will be there for you, okay? But just remember, the hard part is understanding the options, okay? The advising one, the orientation ones, just read it all and you should be able to understand which option is yours. And then now, Maria, you want to talk to us a little bit about our family programming?
Yeah, thank you, Vic, for that. And like Victor was saying, the modules that you'll see in the online orientation, we have a lot of campus partners and we worked together to be able to do that for you. And so there's a lot of great information and it's there for you all summer. So don't feel like you have to go through it, all today. If you're new to it and you're looking at it, make sure you take the time to really go through those because like Victor said, there is a lot of information and you have, the summer to work through it, and definitely reach out to us if you have any questions. So I don't think I welcomed families or parents that are on this webinar. So I want to welcome any families or parents who are joining us. You're key in helping our students start their first quarter in the fall. So I thank you for being with us as well. And I want to let you know that as we progress and we learn more about what is it that we can do for families in regards to, definitely in the fall, because I know everyone, this is a fun and exciting. Some families are sad, but it's a good sad in terms of bringing their students to campus. I love move-in day. I love helping the students unpack all of their things and talking to our parents and the families that are there that are helping their students move to campus. And with that being said, Victor is showing you there that family programming website that we have. And I can't encourage you enough to join our communication platforms. So one of them is our social media. We do have a Facebook for our families. So if you want to join us and stay connected through, if you have Facebook, we welcome you to join our Facebook to stay connected. We've been putting a lot of the information in regards to updates through this COVID-19. Whenever there's going to be town hall meetings, we put that in there. And so we welcome you to join that. We also have a quarterly newsletter that will go out, and that, again, we're on a quarter system, so it'll come out fall, winter, and spring. And so we invite you to sign up to be able to get our quarterly newsletter, and that will tell you updates and information, and especially events. We love having our families on campus with us. Like I said, the move-in day is that first day that you're here. If you hadn't come during any of our admitted days, or even the virtual admitted days that we've been having through admissions, but if you haven't visited campus and then fall might be your first time coming, this is a way for you to learn about our community, to learn about the ways to get involved as a family, and to really support your students. We really look to you as families and parents to just be that support network that we know that you've been as, you know, part of your students' lives all these years, and that we continue to be a part of their lives in the fall. So stay informed. This is, again, where we'll let you know special events that we'll be planning for you, and also to stay engaged in the communication that we'll have for you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Maria. And so you know, if you just scroll down from the orientation website, okay, if you keep scrolling, you will find the family programming information. It's all in one page, which is really awesome. Another thing that I wanted to let you know is that we will have more information after the 3 steps. We have these right here, example, directions to EWU, lodging information. I know parents, if you're watching, you're probably wondering about this information. We have all some information here. We also have parking and transportation information here. Okay, we will be updating the exact parking and parking information late August because things change with them, but we will be updating that information here. And the schedules, okay, as we said, we plan for September through the 17th through the 22nd. And for families, we're looking at the 17th to the 19th, okay? So family members, if you plan to come to the orientation, we will have some programming during these days here, okay? The full schedule, depending on what it looks like, or exactly what it looks like, will be posted here around early to mid-August. So be looking out for that. Also with transfer students here as well. So everything is in here. Just know that you can. This could be your hub to all this information here once we progress through the summer and getting closer to the fall. So Maria, are we done? We ready for some questions?
Definitely. We're here to help you. So what questions do you all have for us?
Great. I'll go ahead and just jump in here. And real quick, I just want to give a huge thank you and great job, kind of congrats to, or great job to Maria and Vic with the great information and overview. And I love the little messages you kept typing in, Vic. That was cute and fun. And, you know, that's definitely shows you our Eastern spirit, and that we're excited to have you all here and you know, be able to support you and parents as well. So definitely thanks for that overview and the great information. We do have some questions in here, but I'd like to see more if possible. There's actually a couple I want to answer real quick. One question from Madeline Floyd. She wanted to know, will this webinar be posted somewhere? Yes, it will be. We actually have an awesome brand new admission sort of virtual edu.edu/virtual. And if you go to that page, all of the previous recordings from housing, financial aid, student panels, great information, great resources there, ways to connect with your advisors in admissions. You know, we're great go-tos. You know I work with my students often that are confirmed or, you know, admitted, not confirmed, you know, even students that are in the application process, and even current students. I have students that I work with this year that I still talk with that I recruited last year. So any questions, reach out to your admissions advisors for sure. There was a question about how, is there a way to affirm our confirmation to EWU? That was from Vincent. Thanks for that. Yes, there is. I would say best contact would be to reach out to your admissions advisor, and we can check that for you super easily. On that virtual page, all the admissions advisors information is there as well. So you can check who your advisor is if you don't know, or your admissions advisor, and you can reach out to us so we can confirm if you have confirmed, like that double confirm in there. Okay, so with that being said, thanks again, Vic and Maria. We're gonna start answering some questions. Please keep asking questions, students and folks that are tuning in. It looks like Vic wants to answer a question from Ismael. What was the header for that email about survey? So I mean, like the email header, maybe. What was that for the survey? Want to talk a little bit about that, Vic?
Well, if I'm understanding correctly, I think he's looking for this right here. So for the questionnaire, this is the advising questionnaire. If you click on here, this is where you will be able to complete your questionnaire. And that essentially notifies, once you complete it, it'll notify your advisor that you've completed it. They'll review your information and then send you an email to set up a Zoom appointment and start talking about your classes. So if that's what you were looking for, that's where it's at right here. Step number one, here's a header. Sign up for fall classes on the orientation webpage, and that's step number one. And there's the email link to that right there. Yeah.
Awesome. And then I'll thank you, Vic, for that. I appreciate that. We might be able to add that link to the survey in the chat, so keep a lookout for that, or at least the link to this webpage that you can scroll down and find that from. I'm going to actually keep Vic on real quick. We got a question from Annie Payton. I think you're one of my students, so shout out to you. Let's see here. I don't remember if I signed up for new student orientation, and if I sign up, later or again, will there be seats saved for me? Vic, you want to take a lead on that?
Absolutely. So yeah, if you don't remember, send us an email at orientation at ew.edu. So orientation at ew.edu, and give me your information, your full name, your net ID, or your 8-digit verification number, and we'll let you know if you signed up. Okay. And if you haven't signed up, we'll let you know how to do it again, or we'll do it for you manually. But yeah, email us before you do it again, so that way we create a double registration for you. Okay. So yep. Call us or email us. Our information, once again, if you look at the end of this information right here, it's right here. So write it down, copy it, or anything like that. Orientation at ew.edu, and here's our number. I also believe they put it in the chat somewhere, so check it out.
Great question. Thanks a bunch, Vic. I appreciate that. And again, when in doubt, email. That's it. Or reach out. When in doubt, reach out. That's better. To any of us, we're here to support you. You're part of the Eagle family. We got you here at Eastern, so reach out, please. Parents as well, we want to be able to give you as much information as you need and clarification. Real quick, I'm going to answer another question. Is my EWU email for college and the high school program the same email for new student email? I believe it is. I might let Vic add on, because there's another question there. That question was from Natalie, so thanks for that. That EWU student email should be the same one. So just keep checking it. If for some reason you're not getting emails, let us know and we can reach out to IT, all that good stuff. I'm going to move it over to the next question, Evelyn Barragan. When do we have to complete the online orientation by? And Vic is going to follow up with that.
Yes, I think Evelyn Barragan and Brandy, I think they have the similar questions right here. Brandy Perman. So essentially you can take your time, right? You can take your time to complete the online orientation. I've had students complete it in one night, crazy, which is cool, but we want you to absorb the information. We want you to understand it. This is not for you to just click and get it done. In fact, there's some quizzes at the end of these. And they're not quizzes to confuse you or anything like that. The quizzes so you can understand some of the information. Okay, real simple quizzes. You're gonna crack up on some of these quizzes as well, because they're meant to be fun. Okay, so I would say that by the end of July, you should have all 7 modules completed. So that way you have at least August to ask any questions, okay, and receive other information. Okay, you don't want to leave everything to the last minute between mid-August to mid-September to complete all these 7 modules, get all the other information you're going to get, and absorb all that. So take your time. It's meant for you to. It's real short information, so you can either go get some more information or just get whatever we're giving you and just continue through the whole thing. Okay, so I would say about at the end of July is when we were thinking you should be able to finish this online orientation.
Definitely. Thanks a bunch, Vic. And that definitely gives everybody some, things to do and keep busy with, because, nobody's going nowhere right now. So, work on that and definitely, try and get that, completed, and so you can get a little bit more info about the school and all that good stuff. I'm actually going to ask a question. I believe Vic wants to answer it. I was going to get Maria's input as well regarding the math placement test. And maybe if you could talk about, depending on what their status is, if they have previous classes, things like that.
Oh yeah, we want to talk about that, the math placement
Yeah,
test.
and I asked Crystal to look up the link for the math placement test so you guys can have the link in regards to the math placement test, because this is a tricky one. I think someone had asked if they have transfer credits, do I have to take the math placement test? So this will be dependent on depending on your transfer work. So most students who transfer with their Associates of Arts and they have that math completed, then no, and it looks like if you're Chelsea, I think that's your question in regards to if you get into the social work program or not. So if you have the math as part of your AA, then I'm gonna say no, you do not have to take the math placement test. I will not be able to answer that second part of your question that I'll leave up to admissions, I believe, in regards to if you don't get into the social work program. But you, as long as you have the AA and the math is complete, then you do not. Some programs do require further math, so that's only in regards to that social work program. So this is where it's important to, when your advisor contacts you, that they will go through your major, because every student on here and every student that comes in the fall is unique in regards to your program. So it's really important that you, when your advisors are contacting you, that you respond and that you make that appointment so you can have that one-on-one discussion in regards to what does your fall classes look like. Who is your advisor? That's a great question. So the advisors are dependent on your degree option. So depending on your major, you will be with an advisor that's based on your area of interest when it comes to your majors. And again, that advisor that contacts you may or may not be your advisor for fall, but they're definitely going to be the first advisor that is going to work with you in getting your classes for fall. So I hope that answers some of those advising questions.
Thanks a bunch, Maria. I really appreciate your feedback and information on the math placement test. I know there were a couple in there. So Jade Rivera, shout out to you. And I believe there was one more, Jonathan Cardenas. Hopefully that overview of the math placement was, good enough and you got your answers, there. If not, definitely ask it, more detailed questions in the chat and we'll try and clarify. This is going great. Keep asking questions in the Q&A box. We're very excited to have you all here and appreciate the questions coming through. I'm going to go ahead and let Vic answer a question from Annie Payton. If there isn't an in-person orientation, is it even worth to go on campus? Vic hyped up the orientation a while ago, and I'm worried he won't be able to enjoy it. Or we won't be able to enjoy it, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Annie, again, I hope that you stay really, really excited about that. I'm staying excited about it all because I'm hoping that we are on campus and all that. That is the optimistic way of thinking of it, right? But you know what? Maria and I and a group of people, our partners from across campus, are really thinking about how we can make it really exciting, whether we're on campus or not. Again, I'm researching some ideas on how we can make something like this virtually and live really fun, really exciting. Okay, because people are doing it across the country. Some universities are going to start, in August, so they're already finishing their plans, right? So we have a little bit of a leadway because we don't start till September. So I'm getting information and ideas from all over the country to try to put this together. So again, depending on how it turns out, you stay excited, you stay ready for this because we're going to bring it and you're going to have fun, okay? And so we're also thinking about some ideas on possibly maybe doing something in the winter, whether it's in collaboration with our leadership and activities department, SAIL, or other things. So just don't lose that excitement, okay? Because I'm gonna be excited and I want you to be excited with me, yeah?
Yeah, I appreciate that. And you know what? I will help everybody be excited because I'm just excited for life and for everyone, kind of going back to what, Maria mentioned earlier to the graduating seniors this year, you know, it's a very interesting time for us all, but definitely, you know, it would be hard to be a senior, you know, transitioning in, choosing college, deciding all of those factors. But you know, if you always wanted to be an Eagle, we want you to be one, and we're gonna get you hyped up, and it's gonna be a great experience. We're gonna roll with the punches, and as soon as things are, you know, lifted and restrictions, and we're able to do in-person programming and those things, you know, we're gonna do it. We're gonna make sure that we, you know, keep you engaged and meet those different needs and you know, keep it exciting and all that good stuff. So if you need some excitement, you give Harley Moran a call, and Vic, you get me and Vic on the phone together, man. We'll both we'll be saying too much probably. You'll be excited, overly excited. But anyway, thanks a bunch for the great question, Annie. I'm going to keep it going here, and I am going to answer or ask a question from Chelsea Grosvenor. Hope I didn't butcher the last name, but from Chelsea here. As a transfer student, do we have to take the math placement test? That might be specific for maybe Maria. I know you mentioned that a little bit, but if you want to emphasize again that math placement kind of process.
Yeah, as a transfer student, sorry, is that what you're?
Yeah, the question was, as a transfer student, do we have to do the math placement test? I applied to the BSW program. When would I likely to hear back? With the $250 new student fee, is it refundable? Well, I guess that's another question, but yeah, the math placement.
Yeah, so yeah, thank you, Victor. So again, as a transfer student, if you have your AA, and I'm pretty sure with the social work, you will not, as part of that major, you will not continue in math as long as you have the math completed with your Associates of Arts. But again, I emphasize that every major is different, especially for our transfer students. So please reach out to, when you get the email from your advisor, that's where you'll make that appointment. And I started to answer Kaylina Ackerman Clemens and our question in regards to music advisors. So when you receive the Zoom invite from the academic advising office, they're going to set up that first appointment because they pre-populated your schedule. And so yes, your first schedule is pre-populated through the advising office based on your transfer work, based on your any AP classes you may have, based on the survey that you filled out. So it's really important that you fill out that survey. That way the advisors, as they're working on your schedule, can get you the most accurate courses that you'll need in the fall. The Zoom appointment is to confirm that schedule with them. So the Zoom appointment that you're going to do over the summer is to talk to them, and they're going to go through the courses they selected for you. And that way together, based on your major, based on what your goals are, you'll review that schedule together. And so that's where, Kaylina, you'll talk about the music department, right? So they're a very specific program, and the Center for Academic Advising will talk to you about that through their Zoom appointment that you have with them.
Thanks a bunch, Maria. I appreciate that. And it's exciting to, you know, to hear these questions come through. Who's my advisor? I'm excited to meet, you know, these people, excited to be on campus. I know a lot of my students have, you know, been sharing that. It definitely gets me excited to see that you all are ready to be Eagles and to have some fun in the fall. Going back real quick to Chelsea's question regarding the Bachelor's of Social Work program application, they should be following up with students sometime here soon. I know they extended the deadline for the application for that program due to what's going on. So just keep an eye out for an email from them. And then regarding the non-refundable, or I'm sorry, the confirmation fee, you're going to be getting followed up with that separately. So don't think we forgot about you. We're definitely going to be getting to that. So let's see here. Keep it going with the questions. Let's see. Is there a way for you to check if you have done the new student orientation? I'm going to let Vic go ahead and answer that one. And that was from Samuel Creamer.
Yes, Samuel, there is. If you go to the to Canvas, and I'm going to show you all here just a little bit. If you go to Canvas and you're here, you know, essentially you'll know if you've gone through a module, if you can actually click on it. If you have something and it looks grayed out like that, that means you haven't done the prior one. So once you get that one done, this one will be able to be clickable, and then this one, and so on and so forth. That's why they're all grayed out, because you have to do the ones prior to that one. But an easier way to check is you go to grades. If you go to grades, and actually this is a good way to check because you're going to be using Canvas during, of course, during the school year. So this is a good introduction to all that. So here you will see that each quiz is a point, okay? Once you finish that quiz, you'll get a point right here, and you'll see the progression. If you have one little line like this, that means you haven't done it. So once you start progressing, you'll see 1 point for each one of these quizzes that you'll taken. It basically means that you're done once you have ones on every single one of these, a score of 1 on each one of these quizzes. So that's the easy way to check.
Thanks a bunch, Vic. I appreciate that overview and sharing the screen. I know that's super helpful. Sometimes it's like click here, but it's so awesome that we're able to share our screens and be able to walk students through that. And again, any questions, if you need clarification, feel free to reach out to your admissions advisors, because we can also set up FaceTime appointments or Zoom sessions with you, text back and forth, so we can make sure that you know what you're doing, and don't think you're bugging us. That's our job. I know I love talking to all my students, and we love helping you. That's why we're in this game. So definitely reach out, please. I'm going to ask Maria a couple of questions here. I think she may have hit on how do I know who my advisor is, but another question from Annie Payton: how long should I wait for my advisor, to contact me? If you don't hear from them, maybe when is a good time to follow up? Maria, can you clarify?
Yeah, thank you. So I reached out to the advising office because I know that was going to be a question that we possibly might get, because we all work on these steps, right? So it's like step 1, but we never really give you a timeline of anything. So their timeline right now that they're looking at is the next couple of weeks, they're going to start reaching out to the students that have been completing that survey. And so that survey has gone live, I think, for a good couple of months now, in regards to filling that survey out. So they're now going to start looking at the students who've completed that survey and start reaching out to them. And so again, it may take a little bit. We have a lot of students who have completed it and who have confirmed, which is exciting for Eastern. And now the advisors are going to start looking at the students who have confirmed, filled out the survey, and then they'll start sending you that Zoom. So I would say be looking out for the next 3 weeks. It will take some time for them to reach out to everybody and to start making those Zoom appointments, but they are going to start doing that.
Thanks a bunch, Maria. I appreciate that, and definitely good clarification on that piece. I'm going to ask a question to both of you. It is from Mackenzie. If orientation is online, what ideas do you guys have, or what ideas do you have sort of for that process? And I know it's really kind of hard to tell right now, but I also know that at EWU and Vic and Maria and all of us are trying to make plan B, C, D, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. So if you can talk a little bit about what that would possibly look like, no guarantees, but what an idea might be.
Vic, you want to start, or?
Sure, I can start. Being that we don't know exactly what stage we're going to be at in terms of all this that's going on. Well, actually, let me look at Mackenzie's question here. Did it get erased?
No, I put it over in the dev section.
Yeah, I think Mackenzie was asking what ideas we have if it was to be online, right? Okay, let's say if it was all online, all right? There could be several things. Again, universities across the country are doing a hybrid of things. And the reason they're doing a hybrid of things is because there are students that are still gonna be living on campus, right? So that means that we have to have some kind of programming on campus because they're gonna be living there, but we still are going to be practicing the social distancing piece, right? So that's possibly not necessarily going to go away. But if we do something online, it's going to look something like this, okay? Where we have webinars with, let's say, financial aid, or some really engaging practices in terms of connecting with people, with students, and sending you off to breakout groups. We are currently I am currently researching the capabilities of Zoom, and Zoom can do some amazing things. It's not just a one-on-one or like what you're seeing right now. You can actually break out into groups and have like an orientation advisor be chatting with you about their experience and so on and so. We can have, again, financial aid, or we can have the sports and recreation, and another group, kind of like think of a conference, but you're not necessarily there. You're going to the groups that you want to go to. So those are some ideas that we're exploring. And as we explore and realize that Zoom and other platforms can do other awesome things, we are definitely going to be looking into that. But again, it could be a hybrid of things, whether we have it online and some things on campus, depending on what the restrictions are, right? Maria?
Awesome. Oh, Maria, you want to go ahead?
Yeah, I think this is the challenge that we've been asked to really face and really be able to think creatively. None of us thought we would be experiencing working from home, being able to be innovative, to not get that Zoom fatigue that people are hearing. And I agree, when Victor was talking about those groups within Zooms, that was awesome. When I experienced my first meeting on Zoom, and then I had to break up into little groups, and then we had our like maybe 5 people within that big Zoom meeting I was in. That was really awesome, because then it felt more connected. It felt more like we were able to engage more in the conversations that we were having. And so that is our goal. We've been challenged with coming and being creative about what we can create for our students. We want this to be as engaging. We want to be able to build community still with our students in the fall. And that's where we're looking at different platforms to be able to do that. I know if our director, Josh Ashcroft, was here with us right now, he would say, we are trying to be innovative and creative. If you go to some of those links that we have on the online orientation, and they talk about the different campus life and the activities, you'll begin to see some of the things that they're starting to do to engage our students. We still have students living in our residence halls. And so we've been trying to give them experience through online technology, keeping them engaged, keeping them active, even though they're not face-to-face right now with us. And so we're thinking about that. We're trying to be creative. And we need you to be present, though. We need you to still be able to engage with us in those different platforms, to keep us motivated, to keep us engaged, and to challenge us to say, okay, how do we build this community, even if I'm not able to still be in person, or we might have to be social distancing. And so those are the things that we're going to be discussing and talking through these next few months.
Thank you so much, Maria. I appreciate that. Sorry, I had my father-in-law show up to bring us some apples. I'm here in the Yakima Valley, and I was like, I think they can see you, but if we're not talking, I don't think you guys saw, but if you did, shout out to my father-in-law, my suegro Pedro. Anyway, okay, so we're gonna keep going with the questions, and we appreciate that. I'm gonna actually follow up another great question from Annie Payton, and it's on the same topic. Will the students be able to like interact with each other if orientation does happen on Zoom, Vic, and kind of in that, it's kind of in the same conversation there?
Yeah, again, we're looking at different ways to do it, but like we said, in those breakout groups, that'll be an opportunity for you to interact with other students. You know, again, it's all going to depend on what the social distancing restrictions are, right? If we are out of the blue, of course, everybody's going to interact with each other, person to person, and then scale back from there, depending on where we're at. We may have small groups of 50, small groups of 10, you know, depending on what the university and the state restrictions are. So yeah, you'll definitely be able to interact one way or another. So trust me, it'll be cool.
That's exciting. If it's anything like Vic's intro, I'm excited to see it. You know what I'm saying? So we're definitely trying to do our best to keep you all engaged. So we appreciate the great questions. I'm going to go up to, I think, another one of my students, Daniela. Hello. I hope I'm sure I bombed that, but Daniela anyway. I accidentally signed up as a transfer student running START confusion. I believe that's what she may be running START, but it was transfer prior to the webinar. Is there a way to get her reset? And so again, I'll kind of just answer it. Just please email orientation@ew.edu and they'll be able to get that switched real, quick, fast, and in a hurry. See here. Another question we got from Dulce Reese. How can we get involved in school activities if campus doesn't open? Is it worth living in a dorm if campus remains closed? I know I want to say something, but I'm going to let Vic and Maria say something first because y'all are the experts.
Maria, you want to go ahead or you want me to?
Yeah, this one's a tricky one, right? Because again, we're a part of this is us wanting to say, you know what, fall's going to be engaging. We're going to be able to be doing events and have each other be in each other's spaces. But today we can't do that. And because this COVID-19 is ever evolving and we're trying to learn along with what is happening, we're going to make sure that the things that we do create and the spaces that we do have these community events is in a safe manner that we're going to be following all regulations. So having said that, you're contemplating right now, should I come on campus? Is it worth it? I know I have friends, you know, whose daughter is planning to come in the fall, and they're deciding that. They're really looking at, they want their daughter to have the experience, and they're alum of Eastern, and so they know what it was like to live on campus, to be engaging and be in the community of Eastern. But they're also looking at, okay, what does this mean for my student? How do I help my student to be a part of the community and make sure that they're also being safe? And that is why we're creating these different platforms to really look at how do we do that to make sure that we can still build a community, even if we're not having big events. And maybe they're looking like smaller events. Maybe they're just virtual. But again, those are things that we'll continue to work on and really be thoughtful through that, because we know how much we want that interaction with one another, but we also know that you have to decide for yourself, what does that look like for the fall. So stay in touch with us. We will be communicating as we build our schedule and really following what it is that we're going to be able to do in the fall, and we'll send that out to you as soon as we create that.
Absolutely. And just to reiterate, you know, there's a misconception right now that just because all this is going on, we don't have students living in the residential halls. We do. We actually have, I don't know, a few hundred, like 300-400 students living in the residential halls. So we're still having activities, planning activities with that through the Office of Student Activities, Involvement and Leadership, SAIL. Write that down because you're going to learn that, right? They're still planning activities. They're not going to be, you know, person-to-person close contact activities, but they've actually launched a website where there's all these virtual activities going on, like even online video game tournaments and just a whole bunch of things. Yeah, you won't be able to do things closely, but you're going to be together, right? Not as close, but there'll be people here. Is it going to look better in the fall? Who knows? We hope it is. But one of the things, a good point that a student told me last week is like, you know what? I might as well just do it and figure out what's going on, because it's going to be maybe not hard to do it in the winter when everything's cleared, hopefully, right? Next winter. But this student decided that they're just going to do it and just work through everything that we're going to have available for them, right? Because if you decide to come in the winter and stay in the residential halls, well, that's the process you're going to have to do through the fall instead of doing it now. So it's all your choice. You know, you have the choice to do it, to come on campus or not, but know that we are all, my colleagues are working hard to have activities for you. We're not gonna be lame and just sitting around looking at each other like, oh, what are we gonna do next? Oh, let's eat another pizza. Well, you can do that too, right? You can eat another pizza, you can eat tacos or whatever you want, right? But we are gonna have activities for you. It's gonna be fun. And if you make it fun for yourself too, okay? Because if you also come and just stay in your room, then what? Nothing. And I tell you that because there's students like last year when none of this was going on, they still did that. They like come, they stayed in the residential halls and did do anything. It's about the involvement, you getting involved, you getting out of your little comfort area and participating in the ways that we're gonna have, like Maria said, according to regulations, but do it, right?
For sure. Thank you so much, Vic. And it's definitely great, you know, advice. I know I've been telling my students, you know, kind of like what you were sharing with your student, it's probably going to be easier to move in the fall than midwinter, right? Because I know Cheney be getting some snow, and just you're already going to be connected. And if Eastern's where you want to be, we definitely want you, and we want you to be on our campus. We want you to live in our dorms, and we want you to get involved, whether that be, initially online, and then hopefully, like everybody's hoping, right? It'll slowly progress into in-person. So definitely keep that in mind. And then another thing that I like to tell students is you're already in the area. So, I know there may not be lots of jobs or internship opportunities, but you'd be surprised if you're interested in like healthcare or business. A lot of people are hiring. So you could like possibly get like a internship, right? Or some type of part-time type of experience, even on campus. I think work study positions are still available, and they're working with, possibly online and things like that. And so there's a great way for you to get connected, not only with the campus, and through the community being there already, but there could be some opportunity for some professional development to happen early on during that time in the fall. So keep that in mind. And thanks again, Vic, and Maria for some great information. And we're definitely trying to roll with the punches and do as much as we can. I'm going to ask a couple more questions here. We're getting close to wrapping up. So if folks, you could definitely stay tuned in, and we want you to ask more questions and stay tuned in. But, we are probably going to get wrapped up here after these last few questions. I know there was one from a student. I got a new student orientation sign up on my email 3 weeks ago, and I signed up. Do I still have to do it the way you guys are showing me? I think they're referring to the new student orientation, or I'm sorry, the advising link maybe. Vic, you want to take the lead on that question?
Yeah, this question says, I got the new student orientation sign up thing on my email like 3 weeks ago. If you got it 3 weeks ago, if you're doing it now, the important thing is that you complete those 3 steps, right? Whether you do the third one, the second one, the first one, or the second one, the first one, just complete them. It doesn't have to be exactly like we said. If you did it 3 weeks ago, fine, you're done. Just chill out, hang out for the advisors to contact you, okay? And then go through the process of advising and getting your classes. And then we will contact you with all the details starting in early to mid-August. Yeah, we might be also texting you. If we text you, we just want to make sure that you got the information. And that's another opportunity for you to ask us questions, okay? So if we say, hey, this is orientation, or O staff, as we like to say, O orientation staff, you might get a text from us, ask the questions, or say, hey, I'm good to go, we're done. And then wait for the detailed email that's going to be coming out later on in the summer. And then we will have a better idea what the fall is going to look like.
Awesome. Thanks a bunch, Vic. And Maria, if you have something to add, definitely, if you'd like. If not, you can just say no. Yeah.
Sounds good. Thanks.
I was going to mention thanks to the folks in the background. Shout out to Admissions Visitor Center, Crystal and Mimi. They're answering your guys' questions and responding as you ask them. And they've also been putting in resources in that chat, like I mentioned earlier. They put in that student involvement virtual page that they've developed. So definitely check out those chats, save those links, bookmark them so you can refer back to them and try and get involved. It looks like the last question is coming from Caitlin. Does Eastern have a book club? And I want Vic to answer that, or he wants to, and I want him to. And I also would like, if you can add in anything about other types of clubs and the variety.
Absolutely. Yes, I believe Eastern does have a book club, and I believe there's a club and organization, an official club and organization book club, but there's also a lot of book clubs that students just put together without being an official book club. So you can start your own, little book club with in your residential hall, or friends that you meet in a class or online, right? And do a Zoom thing. The nice thing about being an official club is that you get access to a license for Zoom, okay? Which is really nice. You get to do this kind of stuff. You can do a webinar. You can, I don't know about webinars, I'm sorry. You can do meetings with a whole bunch of people and talk about the book and all that. So again, whether you create an official club or you create something on your own, you can use Google Hangout or FaceTime and do your own thing. But yeah, we have over 100 different clubs and organizations at Eastern. Again, depending on what it's going to look like in the fall, you'll be able to participate in all of them. If everything is awesome and we can do everything that we have planned for you, there's something called the Neighbor Festival, okay, Neighbor Fest. Okay, that is where we have over, I think it's like 200 tables or something like that, where all the clubs and organizations and different services of the university are going to come together in the mall area. The mall is kind of like the courtyard of the university. And they're just going to be there so that way you can sign up for the information later or join their club and so on and so forth. So there are so many different clubs and organizations. And if there's one that that's not there, I don't know, if you want to create your very own, I don't know, drone club or your very own, I don't know, something club. Again, all you need, I think it's like 6 to 8 people, and then that are want to do it with you, and you can create your own club. It's easy as that.
Awesome. Thanks a bunch, Vic. And going back to that, being involved, take advantage of that. Try, get involved, create, clubs and organizations, look at which ones exist and be involved to get connected, because I guarantee you others want that same connection and interaction and engagement with each other. So great question and great response, Vic. And real quick, again, I just want to thank everybody for joining us and thank Vic and Maria. If we could give you a round of applause, we would, I'm sure. Definitely. If I could get you lunch, I would too, Vic. I'd like to go have some tacos with you. I know you'd be sharing that on your social media, man. I like to see that. But again, thank you everyone for joining. Shout out to all my students, all of the students that joined. If you have questions, reach out to us. Our contact information was all in the chat, and it will be available. And if you have a question we didn't answer, be expecting an email from that, with an answer very soon. And I think with that, we'll go ahead and wrap up. Any last words, Vic?
Yeah, I did want to answer a question that I might have missed from Ismail Billmans. I apologize if I missed it, but I see that you're still on here. It says, I see it means as a transferring student, plus I'm 32, I do not need to do that. And I'm assuming you're talking about orientation. And maybe, to be honest with you, I was a non-traditional student when I came to Eastern, and I thought the same thing. I was like, you know what, orientation, that's for kids, I was about 30 when I went to Eastern. So, it's your choice if you want to attend orientation, but that's why we have a transfer orientation, okay? If you don't want to participate in the rest of the activities. Transfer orientation is a few hours. It's not even the whole day. It's on the 21st of September if everything goes well. So at least go to that one. I do got to say, though, that if you are a fun person, and anybody can go to this, right? Not just fun people. If you like some excitement, I would go to everything, because I regretted it afterwards. I was like, what? They had food? They had this? They had that? And I didn't realize it because I was like, I'm too old for that stuff. So look at the schedule. You're welcome to go to everything, even though you are a transfer student and 32 years old. We hope you go.
Definitely. Thanks a bunch. And I think clarification, sorry, real quick in the background, I can see that he was actually referring to the survey, Vic. So does that mean he still needs to do that as a transfer student?
As a transfer student, no. Apologize. No. So again, it was orientation because I didn't talk about the survey, but yeah.
Great. So it sounds like if you are a transfer student, no need to sign up for that. Thanks, Ismail. And he says thanks to you, Vic, for answering that question. Again, thank you to everyone for joining us. We're probably going to wrap it up here. I appreciate you tuning in for over an hour with us. If any questions at all are still lingering in your mind, reach out. When in doubt, reach out. You know what I'm saying? So thanks again to Maria and Vic. We are excited that you joined us. Be looking out for future webinars. We're having a student panel Wednesday and then a financial aid session on Friday. So check out that virtual page to sign up and to view previous recordings. Thanks a bunch for joining us, everyone. We are out. Go Eags.
Go Eags.
Go Eags. Thanks for coming.